Gia. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you for tuning in to another episode from Leo World News. And on today's menu, we have Gillie the Kid versus Rick Ross. But before we get into it, I'm going to need you guys to hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. All subscriptions are appreciated and it's important. And also, don't forget to go to leoworldnews.com and check out your latest blog on hip hop news. But straight into it. Gillie the Kid and Rick Ross are going back and forth. Ross seems to have time. He's making time to troll rappers again. You know, I feel like there might be a project coming out or something, but he's making time to answer anybody that's responded. And one person who hasn't responded is Lloyd Banks. I know how you guys feel about that, but Gillie has responded, and he's pretty much using the same tactics 50 Cent already has done. Everybody knows that. If you did not know, Rick Ross was a correctional officer. It took him forever to admit that. He finally admitted it some years back. But when 50 brought it to everyone's attention, he tried to avoid the question. He even had Vlad TV. He had Vlad TV assaulted. Vlad took him to court, got a $300,000 settlement out of that beating. You know, for asking the question about his past. But everyone that knows that, you know, Ross was a correctional officer prior to him blowing up in the rap game. Now, does that matter in people's views today? I mean, that Ross was a correctional officer. We still got Tekashi 6ix9ine out here going places without security. He's a known snitch. So I mean, is it relevant now? I mean, does it matter? He is now that Ross is, I'm not saying he's on top of the rap game, but he does have a hell of a mansion. You know, he's over there, if you've seen in the blog, showing off his haircut lawn, making bears and shit, and you know, and how much he spends on his cow's hooves, you know, and yeah, so I'm pretty sure Gillie, you know, took it personal when he brought his family into it, but he does have a big mansion. He's made a lot of money in this rap game. There's a blog I talked about how Ross and Lil Wayne were how they're ghostwriters for a lot of people, and you know, they ain't no telling, because they don't want to say who they wrote for. But ain't no telling how much he actually is getting off of those records. They say that it's some of your favorite artists. You know, the records are on the radio all the time. So it's just, you got to think about that. So, because what the fleet of cars that he has, the mansion, I don't think his albums did that well. You know, I mean, he's done his thing in the game, but he hasn't put out some music in a while. So he obviously, them ghostwriting checks is doing very well for him. So, but Gillie, I mean, Gillie ain't broke. You know, he's doing his thing. Him and Wallow, $millions worth of game. Check that out. But you know, Gillie's Gillie, man. He ain't broke, I know that, but he ain't spending that kind of money like Ross. You know, but yeah, I would like to see him do something else. I mean, this could be a step for him to maybe he puts out a diss track, you know, something that Lloyd Banks should have probably already done. And to answer that, because I know a lot of you guys was saying I haven't heard of Officer Ricky. Of course I heard Officer Ricky. You know how old that is? That's dead and gone. It's over with. All right, he didn't kill Ross's career with it. Ross kept coming. He kept coming at 50. Like, come on now. And right now he is still poking at Lloyd Banks. And Lloyd Banks just dropped his album, his Cody 2. You know, not trying to talk about that on this, but yeah. And my last opinion on that, Cody, the first one was better than number 2. I'm just gonna leave that there. We'll talk about that on another blog. But as of now, I'd like to see Gillie. I'd like to see Gillie do a diss track or something. I mean, I know he still got the bars, but to just come back with he was a officer. Of course, we know that, but he did claim that Rick Ross owes Meek Mill money and that he was stealing money from Meek. Now, could that be the reason why Meek wanted to get away from Atlantic and wanted to be managed by Roc Nation, even though he just split from Roc Nation? I mean, is he just getting raped both ways? Is that what's going on? I mean, we haven't heard Meek Mill say Ross took money from him. So is Gillie getting his information from Meek? Meek keeping quiet about that? Mr. Twitter Fingers? I think Twitter Fingers would have said something. I think that boy has no filter. But I would like to see that, or otherwise this man could just be speculating. And Ross has been doing his thing, and he does have a lot of money. And he spend it on his yard like that, and on cows and whatnot. But tell me what you guys think. About that. Does it matter anymore that Ross is a correctional officer? Is that pertinent in today's age in the rap game? You guys still listen to his music. It didn't stop him back then, because that's before he started dropping albums after album and mixtapes. Okay, 50 tried to do him like he did Ja, and it didn't work. So I don't think what Gillie's trying to do is going to work either, unless Meek comes out of nowhere like, yeah, that's true, he seconds what Gillie is saying. Well, then that might hurt Ross. But I know Ross let him go to do his own thing. So I mean, I don't know. We got to see how it plays out. But Ross is gonna make time to respond. So we definitely gonna critique that as well. But in the meantime, I'm gonna need you guys to please go to LeoWorldNews.com. Check out my latest blog. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All subscriptions are appreciated. Leo World, I'm out.